You know what you need to be working on in your business, but you keep doing everything else instead. Scrolling, being on Instagram, being on YouTube. And the worst part is somehow you convince yourself this is productive. This isn't just a bad habit and it's not laziness. It's your dopamine system tricking your brain to avoid the real work. Here's the scary part. The more you follow that urge, the more difficult it is to finish anything. Let me show you what I've learned to become a doctor and how to stop procrastinating for good. Back in med school, I thought I had a motivation problem. I'd sit down to study and then I suddenly felt the urge to make coffee, to check my phone, to tidy my room. I'd tell myself it was productive procrastination. And now I notice the same pattern in other people too. Smart, ambitious, driven, hardworking people, all avoiding the real work without even realizing it. In these moments, we're not procrastinating because we're weak. We're procrastinating because our dopamine system is hijacked. Why dopamine fuels procrastination? Here's the science. Dopamine drives action, but not onto what's important, but rather to what's pleasurable. And things like deep work or building a business, that's slow, not instantly rewarding. So when you sit down to do the hard thing, your brain panics, your dopamine level drops. And your mind basically looks for something easier to give that quick dopamine hit. That's why you suddenly start to feel the urge to check notifications. You start researching some random idea that comes to your mind, or you tweak your Notion or productivity setup for the 5th time that day. Your brain isn't actually trying to be helpful, it's just trying to escape what you need to do. And every time you follow that urge, you strengthen the procrastination loop. Over the long term, this is pretty scary because every time you avoid the hard thing, your brain gets better at doing that, which means less follow through, more self-doubt, and eventually a complete loss of trust in yourself. I've seen it in patients, in clients, and in my former self. You start believing the lie that you just can't stay consistent. But it's not really about consistency, it's about chemistry. So here's how to break the procrastination loop and to retrain your dopamine system to crave deep and hard work again. Number 1, shrink the starting point. Don't aim for 3 hours of deep work, aim for just the first 2 minutes. This massively reduces that initial resistance or inertia, so you can just start. Just sit down, open the dock, and once you're in motion, dopamine builds and it becomes easier to keep going. Number 2, make sure you reward the effort, not the result. After each focus session, give yourself something positive. Reward the effort you put in, not the result. This reinforces the brain to feel good for showing up. Eventually, it'll crave the work because it looks forward to the reward. And number 3, track the fake wins you're avoiding. Use a notepad or a tracker, and every time you have an urge to distract yourself, but you avoid it, then give yourself a tick. This is how you stop that habit loop and rewire your identity in the process. So you're not lazy, you're not broken, you've just accidentally trained your brain to chase dopamine, not real progress. But once you can link the real progress with dopamine, then that's when you start craving the work, and that's when you start being consistent and seeing results in your business. I built a reset dopamine tracker which will help you break this loop step by step. It's free in the link in the description. And if this video gave you value, then subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you on the next one.